So improvement is not something that we're going to do once. This is something that is an ongoing thing, and we need to put in structures that make sure that people stay engaged if we're really going to be able to make things better. So in order to do that, first we need to define three things. We need a vision and mission, and sometimes people get confused about what those are. A mission is, what is the purpose of our company? What is it that we're trying to accomplish? A vision is, what are we going to be in the future? Where are we headed? So once we have those things, then we can define critical success factors. Those are the things that will tell us whether we have succeeded or not. Perhaps that is return on investment, sales, customer satisfaction, whatever we think are the critical success factors. And those critical success factors will tell us which of our processes are the most important processes for us to pay attention to. Now, when we define these things, it's really important to know that people always do this for the entire company. If you go to any company, you can find their mission, and vision. But you can do this at any level of the organization. So you could do it for your specific team. What are the critical success factors for your team? Perhaps they are job satisfaction, delivery rate, error rate, whatever. The things that are going to define how your team is successful. So the company needs an overall strategy, and that defines the critical success factors for the company. Now, critical success factors are not always measurable. So say, for example, our critical success factor is employee satisfaction. It's hard to know, it's hard to measure that. So instead, we could define a tactical metric, which is something you can measure and something that you control. And we're going to call these tactical metrics key performance indicators. So if our critical success factor is employee satisfaction, then our key performance indicator might be turnover. And the important thing about that key performance indicator is we have to pick it so that we understand how the decisions we make every day are affecting that tactical metric. And then it actually turns out that this kind of ripples through the company. The tactical metrics at one level become the critical success factors at the level below them. And those people need to define the key performance indicators that will help them achieve their critical success factors. So as an example, suppose that your CEO defines financial viability as one of his critical success factors. Then he might have some key performance indicators: net profit, return on investment, cash flow. And those are the things that he is measuring and trying to maximize. But the vice president of engineering might take one of those, for example, return on investment, and say that is our critical success factor. That's the thing that we're going to make get better. But it's hard for an engineer to know how the choices that she's making during every day affect return on investment. So we take that critical success factor and turn it into key performance indicators of cost of parts and failure rates. And those are things that the engineers can control, and that the engineers will understand how the decisions that they're making affect those key performance indicators. So this is the way most companies organize themselves. Traditional organization is structured around the things we studied in school. So the people who do marketing are in one part of the company, and the people who do sales are in a different part of the company. And the engineers sit in research and development. And the focus is on the function that you provide to the organization. However, the processes that affect the company's critical success factors are going to go across that functional organization. So if our critical success factor was customer satisfaction, look at all of these different processes that affect customer satisfaction. And even though in engineering we're sitting over in research and development, we certainly have an impact on all of those processes. And so the only way as a company we're going to be able to meet that critical success factor is if we pay attention to those cross-functional processes. So this picture shows one possible process for how to continue to improve. Over on the left, you can see the things that we've talked about that you need as the foundation of what you're going to do. there's the vision and the mission, the critical success factors, the key performance indicators, and what are our core processes. Then there is, if you look at the whole thing, you can see that there is a feedback loop. So we do a bunch of stuff and we measure our progress, and that feeds back into those core things that drive how we're running our business. Within that loop, there are some things that we do to make sure that we understand what the process is. There's how we measure how the process is working. And in that, we're going to look not only at what are our capabilities, but we're also going to look for variation and how can we measure variation. And we're going to use that information to define opportunities for improvement. That may be completely redoing the process. It may be some improvement on the process. It may be some people development. Whatever it is that we choose to do, we're going to measure the impact of that to make sure that what we're doing is actually making things better. And we're going to use that to feed back and make sure that our vision, goals, and everything are still correct. So it is continuously going through that loop.